Hey, so my name's Brian, and I want to go through how I have to give myself injections twice a day. So just in case it helps somebody else, or if you want to know what's going on with me, this is what I do twice a day now. Because I have an undiagnosed GI problem caused by something with nausea, vomiting, and the other end, which was the big problem as far as weight loss and dehydration and stuff like that, and weakness. So this is octreotide acetate, also known as Sandostatin, I guess is the brand name. It comes in different doses. In different forms, but it all has to be refrigerated. It can be unrefrigerated for up to 14 days, and it's sensitive to light, so you have to keep it out of light. So I have my own little system. I'm going to show you, and maybe it'll help you even if you're taking some other kind of medication that you have to inject. I always keep 6 things out whenever I get ready to give myself an injection. I know if I count to 6, I'm good. I got everything I need. And I keep them in an old insulated lunch bag like you'd find. And just keep it in the fridge, and I can just carry it with me and have enough doses for whenever I have to work 24-hour shifts and things like that, or if I go on a little trip or whatever. And that it will keep it a little bit cooler until I get it into another refrigerator. So the 6 things that I always have are right here, and I'm going to go through the first one, which is the medication. Mine come in glass ampules, which I don't like. I'd rather have vials. You have to break these open. I have to take 100 micrograms in 1 milliliter. So that's the actual med. It also comes with I take it with a syringe. I'm using a 25 gauge right now, which is bigger than what I was using, with a removable injection needle on the syringe, and that's a 1 milliliter TB type of syringe. This isn't unusual for anybody I work with because we deal with this a lot, but I also have a filter needle, which you can't even see, but anyway, which I have to have out. And then I also have an alcohol prep to get ready and cleanse the site, or alcohol swab, whatever you want to call it, alcohol pad. The Band-Aid, just in case I keep it out. Sometimes it doesn't bleed with the 25 gauge needles. It does a little bit more than what I was using before. And I also have a sterile gauze. You need this to open up the ampule. And if I have an extra one around, just in case the medication is coming out of the injection site or I'm bleeding a little bit, I hold this on it before I put the Band-Aid on. So I'm going to go through a little bit more about how to do it and how to prepare it. I basically have to get the ampule here. I have to open up these ampules. They got a little green line where you're supposed to put a thumb. You're supposed to put your other thumb down here. Look at a different video online if you need to open up one of these. If you have a vial, totally different story. And it has a little blue dot, which I guess you can't really see right there. And that's where you're supposed to put your thumb, because right underneath the blue dot on the neck here is a little score. And basically you use the gauze because if you don't, you might cut your middle finger there whenever you snap this thing. So I'm putting one right over the blue dot there, one underneath, and hopefully it snaps open pretty good. And the top is considered a sharp, just like the needles. So I'm going to put that aside and put in the sharps container later. The next thing I have to do is get the syringe ready. So I'm going to open up the syringe with the attached needle here, like so. And I have to get the filter needle out because since it comes in glass ampules, you could have glass shards whenever you snap them open. Also, I have crushed the entire top of those glass ampules before, leaving some glass in the medication on the body of the ampule. So you can take off the injection needle, put on the filter needle to draw it up, keep that injection needle clean, and this looks huge because it is. This isn't what you're giving yourself the injection with, at least not me, but it'll draw it up a little bit quicker. And there's a little bit of a space on these glass ampules. I don't know if you can see between the label. It kind of covers everything. I face that toward me so I can see what I'm doing. You can't invert these to do this, but you might lose product out of it. So I'm just going to draw it up by looking at it kind of sideways there and getting a good angle and drawing up the med. And it looks like I must have left some med in the top of it, which I did. I didn't shake it down enough. One thing you have to do before you do this is flick the bottom of the ampule. I can draw it out at the top just as well, so it doesn't matter. So hey, I made a mistake, and it's a learning experience for everybody then. And usually you can get it where there's some, until you start drawing in air if you're lucky. this is pretty much done now. Officially, you don't recap needles, but I like doing this sitting down, watching TV. It takes my mind off of it, and I'll put it in the sharps container afterwards. It's my own home. It's not like I'm at work. Put the injection needle back on, and you end up with air bubbles in here. You can't really see them here. Well, maybe a little bit. Yeah. I have one right in the middle. I have one at the bottom here. I have a tendency to think that this other person who posted a video was like, you flick it and you flick it and you flick it, and I'm thinking, you know, she was right. I have a tendency to hit it wherever the air bubble is, and that seems to help, and then move your other hand around so you can get the air bubbles up to the top near the injection needle. And that's not too bad. I lost a little bit of product in there somewhere. And then you push out the air through the top while you have it sitting upwards like this. Some of it's already going to be up near the needle and it's going to squirt out, but you need to get the last of that air out. Teeny little bubbles, don't worry about it. You see a little bit, some drops coming out. I get to the point where it squirts out a little bit sometimes. I got about 0.9 of a milliliter out of the whole milliliter. That's average, I think. Sometimes I get a little bit more. And of course, here I am recapping. Don't do that if you're doing this in the field or whatever. This is not a doctor talking to you. This is just a guy showing you what he has to do. So I'm recapping that while I prepare everything else. I'm going to do my arm today, so I might have to move this around. And I figured out, somebody told me about a wall type of thing, if you're alone, to go up against the wall to get maybe the fat behind your arm to come up. I also have basically I have 6 injection sites. Then I do both my arms now, which I didn't do at first. Both sides of my stomach and my thighs. So now I rotate between the 6 sites to hopefully minimize scarring and all that and bruising. So what I do is I get my knee and actually get my upper arm kind of bend over a little bit, and you really can't see there. And I can kind of get that fat on the back to stand up, so I kind of have a good idea where I'm doing it. And I've heard that how vigorous you wipe is how you get it really clean, not so much a circular motion. And that's pretty much ready to go. So now I have my needle, and I can uncap that. These needles, you'll notice, will have a bevel on them. You can't see it with this camera at all, but you can tell which way the hole is as far as which way it's cut. And usually you do a bevel up. This is a subcutaneous or sub-Q or SQ injection, so the bevel goes up just like you would giving somebody an IV. And I have a tendency to go whatever angle works. So for me right now, the angle going up is easier. I can see what I'm doing. And 45-degree angle, and that's pretty much in. And luckily I had my index finger in the right place to actually push down on the plunger. And you just give it nice and slow. You may see a bump come up underneath the skin. And we're done with that. And it's probably going to bleed a little bit. It's not bleeding so much, but I'm losing a little bit of the med, which you can't really see. There's a little drop of it there. So I'm just going to hold a little bit of pressure there. It's probably not going to bleed much, but just to be safe, I usually get out a Band-Aid, because I never know when I'm going to be getting dirty on the job or around the house or whatever. So while it's still kind of fresh in my mind where it is and everything, I'm going to stick a Band-Aid on there. And that's pretty much it. So this took me, what, almost 9 minutes to tell you how to do it, and I did it. So if I don't have to be telling you how to do it, I mean, it can take me 2 minutes if that. So I hope that helped anybody who has to take this med. Like I said, I'm not a professional doctor or anything. I just wanted to see if this would help anybody, and if anybody's interested in what I've been going through. And what's helped me tremendously has been doing this twice a day, and if I have to do it for the rest of my life, I don't care. I don't care. So thanks a lot, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.